大谷翔平選手が1番 DH で先発出場したドジャースとブルージェイズのワールドシリーズ第1戦。大谷翔平選手はワールドシリーズ自身初ホームランを放ちましたが投手陣が崩壊し4対11で敗戦となってしまいました。これで大谷翔平選手のホームランはポストシーズン通算9本目となり、松井秀喜氏が持つ通算最多本塁打記録まであと1本と迫りました。大事な初戦を落としたチームを現地はどのように分析したのか、試合後の現地放送を翻訳してお届けいたします。
Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Hartung, Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parra, and Oral Hershiser. Game one of the Fall Classic, anything but a classic for the Dodgers, and we wondered how they might look after not playing a baseball game for a week after they swept the Brewers in the NLCS. They did not look like the same team that we saw winning 9 out of 10 games to start this postseason. Blake Snell, Jerry, pitching for the first time in 11 days. He wasn't as sharp. On the other side, the Blue Jays did what they've continued to do this entire postseason, that's swing the bats, and that 9-run 6th inning was the difference in the game.
I think collectively, this is the deepest lineup the Dodgers are going to face. These guys put the ball in play. They're relentless. They can hit the long ball, but they don't rely on the long ball. We saw it tonight. Dodgers, obviously, especially from the pitching standpoint, really didn't bring their A game. And on the hitting side, struck out 13 times to their 4. That has to change if we're going to win this series.
Yeah, I think this lineup, as you mentioned, it's also because it's hot right now. I mean, they're rolling right now. They have momentum coming in. You know, everyone is swinging the bat. They're feeding off the energy right now. As they said, it's the postseason. That's what they're doing. They're doing that really well. They didn't really chase. They put the ball in play, and they do have some thunder in those bats. They can drive it out of the ballpark. They showed it today. They've shown it throughout the postseason. So today just wasn't a fluke. This is what they've done. At the same time, when we look on the Dodgers side, yeah, Snell, he didn't look as sharp. You know, it wasn't there. He'll tell you that, but still managed to battle through, tried to give the team a chance to come back in this game, score some runs. I think there was an opportunity where the Dodgers had those bases loaded early in the game to really try to shift some momentum on their side, try to take some of the wind out of the sail of the Toronto Blue Jays, and they couldn't muster anything. I think that was kind of a big blow to the Dodgers, and the Toronto Blue Jays kind of rolled with that right after that. But you know, a lot of swings and misses. I mean, they did look off. I mean, there's no doubt about it. When you're off, this is one of our fears. When you're off this long, it's really hard. It really is hard at the end of a season when you are sitting down for a week, when you're just running on adrenaline because you're already physically and mentally exhausted to try to get back up. Hopefully, this wakes them up.
Yeah.
We're going to break this game down throughout this show, and we're going to look at it. And the good thing is we're going to break down one game. And to quote the great Tommy Lasorda, if it was a one-game series, I'd be really sad. But it's not a one-game series. It's a 7-game series, and there's a lot of baseball to be played.
And it was a 2-2 game going into the bottom of that 6th inning. Oral Blake Snell, we talked about, he wasn't quite as sharp tonight. He begins the 6th inning, walk, single, hit by pitch. Then he comes out of the game. And this is where, if you're the Dodgers, you need someone in that bullpen to help put out the fire, and they just weren't able to do it. Next thing you know, the Toronto Blue Jays put up 9 runs.
Yeah, it was worrisome from the beginning with Blake because he did not have his fastball command, and we talk about it so much. We can say that the changeup's elite. He's getting the swing and miss with the slider, the curveball he's landing, but everything comes off the fastball because if you're locating the fastball, and especially for him, to the glove side, pounding it into righties. But when he went into righties early on, it was not there. It was in off the plate. It was up and more in the middle. And when he did not have the rhythm with that pitch, it really affected everything. And I think by the time he got second time around with Toronto, they knew he didn't have the pinpoint control, and they started to get on it.
And we talked about the bullpen before the game. You know, obviously, you know, Vesia being out, he's a guy that you would probably put in with guys on traffic. You know, like who are you going to go to just try to really minimize here and possibly find a way to get out or really minimize the amount of runs. Sheehan came in. A lot of his pitches were just over the middle of the plate. This is a team who's very patient, doesn't chase, and they can hit some hard stuff, and especially over the middle of the plate, and they took advantage of that, and it was talking about passing the baton. They were doing that in that inning. It was really contagious for one guy after the other. It was a quality at-bat after quality at-bat, and they ran with it.
And like Oral mentioned, this is just one game, and you know what? I almost prefer, if you're going to drop a game, I almost prefer them getting punched in the mouth like they did tonight. And I think hopefully this will wake them up because it has been a long layoff. Now, hey, we're in a series. You know, if you're in a heavyweight fight, you get knocked to the ground. All right, let's see how we respond. I expect this Dodger team to respond in a big way tomorrow night.
You know, the good thing is you just have to split. You split over there in Toronto, you have home field advantage.
Yeah, right.
You know, I don't like the way the home field advantage plays out because of that. So, okay, you lose game 1, come back, win game 2, win it decisively, and all of a sudden now you have home field advantage. You get back to come.
And we
Dodger
predicted
Stadium.
they'd win in 6, so they have to lose another game for them, the Dodgers, to win in 6. Again, this is the World Series. It's amazing just hearing, you know, fans talk. And I know there's talking heads that really don't know a lot of baseball. Oh, the Dodgers are going to roll. The Blue Jays are a very good team. I mean, a very good team. So I'm so glad now the world has got a chance. Now, listen, the Dodgers respected the Blue Jays because they know their opponent. So the world's got a chance to see there's a reason why the Blue Jays are representing the American League in the World Series. They put the ball in play. They swing the bats extremely well, and they can pitch a little bit. Now it's up to the Dodgers to respond.
Earl, seems like the only time as a starting pitcher you would ever have 11 days between starts is maybe if you're on the injured list or something's bothering you. But this was a time when Blake Snell, he's coming off one of his best outings of his career outside of his no-hitter in that last game against the Brewers, has 10 days off before his next start. And tonight, what did you see from him that just wasn't quite what we have seen in this postseason?
It just wasn't the rhythm that we were looking for from him and the execution, and it was early on. I mean, he got out of the first inning, but it was 20-some pitches, and it was not pinpoint. He actually was becoming the old Blake Snell, which is effectively wild, compared to the guy who is pitching and making pitches and executing and really blowing you up in a way that he has like a .6 ERA through the postseason. This was the Blake Snell that was struggling with rhythm but effectively wild and always competing. But Toronto caught up with him. There was not a lot of swing and miss in Blake's game, and that was the competition tonight. It was a swing and miss pitcher against a contact team, and he wasn't hitting his spots and getting the swing and miss.
Nomar, what did you see from Blake Snell tonight?
I just think the guys, Toronto were able to lay off pitches. They recognized early on that the fastball command wasn't quite there. An aggressive team that probably can look for fastballs, but when the fastball isn't a strike early on, now all of a sudden you're not 0-1, you're not 0-2. You can look in the zone early on. And if I get the fastball here, since he doesn't have his fastball command, oh, I can be aggressive in my zone. But if it's not there, I can wait. And since they were able to wait, or it was a ball, now all of a sudden it's 1-0, your mentality is a lot different. Then I can even start looking like, okay, fastball, I can look at my zone, but now I can even look at some of these off-speed pitches. I can look for the area of his off-speed pitch. If it starts up, if it starts falling in my zone, I can attack in the middle of the zone. Toronto Blue Jays were able to just wait for their pitch rather than have to go after his. Blake Snell's so good at making adjustments to see what they're trying to do to him, and he adjusts, but he's able to do that when he's ahead and going, okay, now I'm ahead, now what are you trying to do? Oh, now I see what you're doing. Now I can kind of a chess match and give you that counter maneuver. He wasn't able to get ahead, so he can wait for that counter maneuver. He was already behind and having to show his maneuver early on, and they were sitting and waiting and patient and took advantage.
That last pitch, that arm side fastball, obviously he wasn't trying to hit Varsho whatsoever. It got away from him. But early on, he had a hard time with that fastball command arm side. Usually gets that strike at the top of the zone to really set up his breaking ball and the changeup. Early on, he did not have that. Like Nomar was talking about, as a hitter, when you're not hitting that fastball, hitting your spots normally, you know, he didn't have his fastball command tonight, so you can kind of hunt certain pitches. I saw Springer. I know he hit it off the end of the bat. He was trying to leave, sitting on a changeup. Guys were going up there hunting a certain pitch, and that's what happens when you don't have your ace stuff. Guys will look in an area, and he was hitting those spots, and those hitters were not missing it.
He gave up 8 hits tonight. 5 of them came off of that changeup, a couple of them off of the slider, so they certainly were looking more off speed, at least getting hits against those. And Jerry, we've talked about this bullpen. The Dodgers struggles with the bullpen mostly the entire season. And we figured at some point they're going to have to come up big for this Dodgers team in the postseason. They had an opportunity to help out there in that 6th inning, but it just wasn't their night.
Yeah, Emmett Sheehan comes in a tough situation. Obviously, bases loaded, nobody out. You have to be able to make a pitch, but here's the thing. We talked about it earlier. These guys shorten up with 2 strikes, put the ball in play. We saw Ernie Clement with the bases loaded, not trying to get big. I'm just going to shorten up, put the bat on the baseball. That's really old school approach there, going up the middle, credit the hitter here. Pitch in, good at bat right here. He had 3-2. Here comes a bases loaded walk for a run scored, and this is a hanging changeup center cut. Big league hitters are going to square it up.
I saw a lot of the pitches from Sheehan as he came in, just over the middle of the plate. Even his slider didn't have a real break to it. It was almost, at times, looked more cement mixer / backup than it was really that sharp break to get that swing and miss. And they were able to just wait and look over the middle of the plate, all of these guys. And I think they knew it. It looked like they knew we don't have to chase. We can just wait. It's going to come to us, and we can be aggressive in our spot.
They weren't able to change speeds at all coming out of the bullpen. You know, when they changed speeds, the ball was in the middle of the plate or not breaking at all. And when they threw their fastball, it was something that you could just sit on. It was, you know, the adrenaline hit the bullpen in a bad way. It made them overthrow their breaking stuff. It made them not be able to locate their off-speed stuff. And it made their fastball command kind of go awry. It was a very bad night for them.
Certainly was not a good night for the Dodgers overall as they dropped Game 1 11-4. Let's go back to Toronto and hear from Blake Snell right now with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Blake, just if you want to go and just kind of share us, what were you seeing as they were navigating through their lineup, how they were able, I know you talked about their ball, bat-to-ball contact, but what were you seeing with them today?
Yeah, I mean, learned a lot. I wasn't locating the ball. I mean, it's pretty simple. Command with the fastball wasn't great. Really changed up. I couldn't locate that either. And then the last inning there, I locate that pitch all the time and then walk Bo, and I know what I can do and get it out there. So just frustrating, but learned a lot. Still confident. I know what I can do. I know who I am. And then a mistake to Varsho, fastball down the middle. Just a tough game, but a lot to learn.
A game like this, is this one that you all just look to flush away and try to move forward, understanding it's a veteran group and you guys are in a position where Game 2 is only tomorrow and you can reset?
Yeah, I mean, we're confident. We know how good we are. But, you know, it was a tough game, and then they came out swinging. They had a better game, and, you know, it's 4 games. You got to win 4. Yeah.
Did you feel a little too strong after the break? I mean, it's the longest you've gone without throwing this year.
Nah, there's no excuses. I should be ready. I wasn't. I got to learn from it, get better, and that's what I'm going to do.
But, I mean, I've heard from other pitchers that when they take a break like that in the middle of the season, they kind of lose the feel that they come out and they overthrow a little bit. Is that not a problem for you?
No, I'm not. There's no excuses. I need to be better. I need to throw strikes. I know I can do that. I don't care if it's a month off. Find a way to be ready.
Are you surprised at how little they swung out of the zone against you, especially how much you depend on that? Or is that just sort of a byproduct of command?
No, it was more command. They're going to swing. If I'm throwing strikes, they're going to swing. I had a bunch of first pitch outs, first pitch swings. Of all the hits they had the home run, fastball middle, and then Kirk was just putting together good at-bats, fighting stuff, so I got to figure that out. But those were their 2 hard hits, and then outside of that, walks and just getting behind. And, it's just got to be better, locate the ball, and, I like what I'll be able to do.
Do you feel like you were kind of looking for your changeup today?
Maybe. But if I locate a fastball, it doesn't matter. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. Here is the World Series schedule. The Dodgers drop Game 1 11-4. Tomorrow, Yoshinobu Yamamoto will get the start in Game 2. Then an off day Sunday before the series will shift here to Los Angeles for Games 3, 4, and 5. We will be out at Dodger Stadium in our usual spot in the center field plaza. So if you're out there, please come by to say hello to us. If needed, Game 6 will be back in Toronto on Halloween, all games on Fox. Junior moment of the game, Jerry. Shohei Ohtani, first game since he hit 3 bombs in the NLCS. He does hit a 2-run shot tonight, a little cosmetic 2-run bomb to make it 11-4.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're down 11-2, now a 2-run shot, 11-4 late in the ball game. He gets a curveball, does not miss it. The key is he does not pull off of it. Needs to make sure he keeps that front shoulder square as long as possible, because when he does that, he does this.
It was all Toronto in Game 1. 11-4 is the final. Let's go back to Rogers Center because Dave Roberts is speaking with the media.
Actually, they're a lot as far as putting the ball in play like the Brewers. I just thought tonight Blake just didn't have good fastball command. He was working deeper counts. When he had count leverage, you really couldn't put him away because they were putting the ball in play. And, you know, there's just a couple bad walks in there. But you got to give those guys credit. They certainly fought.
Second row, your left, Doc. Jack.
Just kind of what did you see go wrong in the sixth inning, both with Blake and then the guys out of the pen?
Yeah, you know, it's just, you know, Bichette's a tough guy to walk. You walk him, then Kirk does what he does, shoots the hole, and then, you know, you walk over. And, you know, right there, that was going to be his last hitter, Varsho, but obviously he put Emmett in a tough spot. And, you know, then he gets strike one on Clement, then a breaking ball's a little bit higher, and then, you know, the change up to Jimenez sort of, you know, was a big hit. And then obviously trying to keep the game close, and Barger hits a hanging slider. So we just didn't make pitches when we needed to keep that game close.
Obviously, Emmett and Anthony specifically, given the state of the pen, are probably going to have big roles to play this series. Is it concerning to see them kind of struggle like they did in that inning right there? Or how do you need them to bounce back?
They need to bounce back. I wouldn't say concerning. I mean, Anthony's been very good for us, and he left a breaking ball up. But, yeah, with the construct of the pen, we're going to need them. And so we got a long way to go, a lot of baseball, but they certainly got to make good pitches.
Other questions for Doc? Go to Ron up front.
Having done this several times, would you prefer to go straight into it without the week layoff looking back?
You know, honestly, I really don't think the week layoff had anything to do with tonight. I really don't. We were rested. I thought we were in a good spot. You know, we had a 2-0 lead, and then Varsho hits a homer, and, you know, we didn't pitch well after that. So I really, honestly, Ron, don't think that had anything to do with it.
Go back to Jack.
Just with the offense, what's kind of missing in your guys' inability to turn some of those scoring chances into bigger innings like you were, you know, earlier coming in down the stretch of the regular season?
Yeah, there was just, and I think even, you know, you look back at, you know, last couple of weeks, there's some pivotal at-bats that can flip games that I think that we can be better at. You know, at times I think that the offense looks great as far as building innings, but there's some key at-bats that, you know, you got to win pitches and, you know, use the other side of the field, you know, get a hit, take a walk, whatever it might be. But I think that, you know, we can be better. We need to be better. You know, Gosman, these guys are fired up. They're playing good baseball. So, you know, just 1 through 9, we just got to continue to take good at-bats and play good baseball, then we'll be fine.
Third row on your right, Dice K.
Dave, what did you think of Shohei today? I mean, he hit the home run, but the overall result is kind of mixed. What did you feel?
Yeah, you know, the homer was nice. Hopefully he can kind of build on that one. But, yeah, you know, it was he's going to be all right. You know, obviously you like him with the bases loaded, and, you know, Yosevich made a good pitch with the split down below. But, yeah, Shohei's going to be fine.
One or two last ones for Doc. Ron?
You guys had a lot of plate discipline in the early innings against Trey. Was that deliberate going in, knowing just make sure it's in the strike zone, try to let him fall behind?
It was. You know, he lives and dies by that split, certainly versus left, and we really try to stay stubborn in the hitting zone. And, you know, we got to their pen in the 5th inning. So I thought on that side of it, we did a good job, but we just couldn't get that 1 or 2 at-bats to really, you know, create a little bit more distance.
Blake Snell came into this Game 1 start, Oral 14 consecutive scoreless innings, allowing just 2 hits over those 14 innings. What was different tonight that you saw?
Well, I think he broke himself down perfectly, and we talked about it before we even got to hear his sound. It was about fastball command, and that set up everything. You take a look at the K-zone, and I don't want you to look at any one theme as much as look at what balls get hit. Look at that he's got deep counts. He's not just mowing people down and precisely hitting spots. He has a few walks. He has confidence to throw the breaking ball with 3-ball counts, but is not landing it. We've been seeing it through the 14-inning scoreless streak that he was landing everything. And when you land everything, the hitters are befuddled. You're a mystery. And then when your most elite pitch, the changeup, is not located, but you're getting effective outs with it, but you're not really in the spot you want to be. When it was down, yes, it was good, but he got some outs even when it was up and thigh high. And most of these hits, Nomar, were right down the middle or thigh high.
Yeah, you see a couple of those red dots where they swung and missed, but I think they got away with it. And he knows that. And then when he goes back and he sees, okay, where's the damage? Well, yeah, look how many I did leave over the middle of the plate. We've done K-zones for Snell when he's so effective, and there are pitches in the middle of the plate. They are on the corners. We can draw even like a line at times down the middle of the plate, and we notice all the balls are hitting on the corners, down way, and that wasn't happening. And these guys are good hitters, and they will hit over the middle of the plate.
Yeah, Blue Jays 11 runs on 14 hits in Game 1. It was just one game. Remember, fans, each night if Dodgers pitchers strike out at least 7 batters, everyone will get a free Jumbo Jack the following day at Jack in the Box with a purchase of a large drink. This is only at an LA area location. Unfortunately, Dodgers only managed 4 strikeouts against the Blue Jays, but there's another chance coming up in Game 2 tomorrow night when Yoshinobu Yamamoto will get the ball for the Dodgers in a bounce-back situation. Let's go back to Toronto. Mookie Betts with Kirsten and the media.
Mookie, I know this was a frustrating one. We've talked to the bullpen, obviously just kind of not having their best effort executing their pitches tonight. When you look at how just the feeling amongst the group as a whole, kind of how do you guys just put this one behind you and try to turn the page for tomorrow?
Turn the page. I mean, it's one game. Nothing we can do about it now. It's over with, so we just have to focus on tomorrow.
What were you seeing just from, you got to see quite a few of their arms. How valuable can that be for just the offense?
I mean, I'm sure if you want to make it valuable, then sure. But, I mean, there wasn't that many high leverage situations and whatnot. I mean, I guess, Dominguez came in, and I forget who else came in early in the game. But, I mean, it's good we get to see him. But, obviously, we'd like to see him in a different situation. But, I mean, it's good to see him.
Do you feel like you guys like playing against the Savage? And how much did that bases loaded situation kind of linger, especially after considering how the game kind of went from there?
Yeah, I mean, I thought so. I mean, we got him out in the fourth or something like that. So, yeah, I thought we did pretty good to kind of get to him. But yeah, we just got to cash in those situations, especially against a team like that who's swinging it really well. So I feel like that was a big point in the game that really changed the game.
What are you thinking out there in the 6th inning when it spirals out of control?
Nothing. Just watch it. I mean, I'm watching it the same way y'all are. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's like I said, it's one game, and you just keep it moving.
You guys haven't really clicked offensively the way you had the first couple games against Cincinnati. I know the pitchers have gotten better, but you make anything of that, or is it just coincidence, or nothing to make of it at all?
I mean, you can make it if you want to make it something, but we're more than capable of scoring 10 or 11 in the game. It's just hard to do in the postseason. Obviously, they just did it, so they've been doing it the whole time, so it may not be hard for them, but for us, we just haven't done it. But we'll figure out a way to win games.
And just to touch more on that 6th inning, like what's going through your mind while you're watching that happen?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm just watching it. And kind of is what it is. I mean, nothing I can do about it.
And it doesn't matter, obviously, how many runs you lose, but you have tomorrow, and that gives you a lot of optimism, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow the game starts at 0-0, so just had to play a clean game tomorrow.
During the layoff, did you guys feel, though, just offensively, I mean, you guys were putting together good at-bats, kind of taking walks, passing the baton. Were you feeling that, especially early in this game?
Yeah, I thought we did pretty good offensively. I mean, we had some good at-bats. I mean, obviously, when the game got out of hand, probably changed a little bit. But early in the game, I think we did a pretty good job against Savage and got him out. But their bullpen did a great job in shutting us down. And that one inning, we had bases loaded. I think that was really the turning point in the game. Even though it's early, every time you get an opportunity like that, if you want to win, you should cash in.
You talk about turning the page, but how do you turn the page from something like this, from the way this one ended today?
It works different for everybody. So there's no magic formula to it. I mean, there's just nothing you can do about it now. We can't go back and change it, so there's no sense in dwelling on it.
No more Shohei Ohtani back in Toronto, hitting a 2-run bomb.
Yeah, we got to break it down. Access 360. It's a 1-2 count, and he gets a breaking ball that he barrels up, and he hits it high, and he hits it far. He gives a souvenir out there in Canada. But the key right here is look at the front side. Look at where the ball is. It's on its way. It's not even reaching the plate quite yet. And that front shoulder was still closed on that ball. It wasn't flying open. It stayed closed. And then his head down. Now, granted, it's a little different Obviously, right-handed pitch, a breaking ball, and he stays on it. But he needs to start doing this from the left side, knowing that the ball still has to cross home plate, because when it does, and he does this, it goes a long way. There's a good swing there, front side staying closed, driving out of the ballpark, just more of that. I think we see him probably open way too much with that lefty because the way it's coming at him and he thinks he has to open up to catch it. Stay closed. It still has to cross that home plate, just like the righty, and you can hit it the same place.
Dodgers not able to overcome a 9-run 6th inning. Let's go back to Toronto. Emmett Sheehan right now is with Kirsten and the media.
Emmett, we were just talking to Anthony just about that 6th inning. What was it like kind of for you going on the mound? Did it just feel like the moment kind of sped up right there?
No, I felt good going into the game. I felt the same as I have been. Yeah, I thought I made some good pitches and I made some really good swings, and then obviously the walk can't happen. But yeah, it's not a good feeling.
When you look at just this postseason as a whole for you, you've been able to bounce back. Is this one of those you kind of just want to put it behind you, get back on the mound, and kind of turn that page?
Absolutely. It's a long series, so obviously doing whatever I can to put it behind me for sure. It'll sit with me absolutely for the rest of the night, and then hopefully after that I can put it behind me.
The results haven't been quite as good for you in relief. Is there anything about like those short bursts or like the sequencing there that kind of has shifted for you that maybe hasn't quite been clicking for you?
I don't know. Yeah, it's been bad.
I mean, you didn't really come out in the middle of an inning before in relief, especially come out in that situation, the bases loaded in the World Series. Like, what type of a challenge was that?
I mean, it's, you know, you're trying to make pitches anytime you come in the game. It's just about executing, and I didn't do a good enough job of that today, and hopefully I'll do a better job next time.
I mean, you know that this team grinds out at bats, make a lot of contact, seen it up close. How good is this lineup?
Yeah, they were great today, obviously. Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, so Emmett Sheehan quickly wants to turn the page on that outing tonight. Another one who would like to do the same on that 6th inning is Anthony Bonda, who right now is speaking with the media.
Anthony, I know, just frustrating outing tonight. When you go back and what you were seeing, just how you're executing your pitches, what do you think was missing, either for you or how were you saying they were able to attack you?
I just didn't do a very good job of executing. Left the slider up, right in his bad path. Bad pitch, took advantage, and you know, he made me pay for it. So that's kind of what happened.
It's one of those outings you just kind of want to flush it, turn the page, and look to get back on track tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, it's a 7-game series. You know, it's baseball. Anything can really happen, but it's kind of hard to go undefeated. But you know, you got to just flush it, get ready for tomorrow, and just be ready. And when the name's called, just go out and execute.
I'm not blind to what's been written in the analysis about the bullpen and how the weak point of the team. What does a night like tonight do for the confidence out there?
I don't think it affects anything as far as that. It's just we didn't execute. You know, you get put in a situation. You know, you're just trying to find outs. You know, as we go out there and we try to execute, you know, it's something that we just didn't do today. As far as the bullpen, when we do, it's, you know, we're lights out. I still believe that. I still feel the confidence in that. But tonight was just a very bad night.
How would you describe the mood in the clubhouse after that?
It's kind of a rhetorical question. We're not happy, you know, but we understand that it's a 7-game series. It's very hard to go undefeated, and you know, just got to be ready for a good game tomorrow.
Do you think that layoff put a little stop to your momentum?
I just think that, you know, as we come in tomorrow, we're just going to flush it. Just, you know, take one game at a time. And we still got a lot of confidence, a lot of good vibes in there. And, you know, it's just one that, you know, got really away from us, and got to flush it.
All right, game 1 of the World Series in Toronto. Top of the first, Trey Savage pitching for the Blue Jays gets Shohei Ohtani.
We're talking about that split that Savage has down in the zone, got Shohei to chase.
Second youngest starting pitcher for game 1 in World Series history, and Savage quickly retires the Dodgers in order in that top of the first, Omar.
High release point, you know that's coming down. You got to be ready for that, and then he's got a split finger to boot that really seems to fall off the table.
Bottom of the first, Blake Snell retired the first two batters quickly. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. walked, and then on a 3-0 pitch, Bo Bichette.
Yeah, Bo Bichette was trying to hit that to Montreal. Cues it the other way, got first and third, one out.
Runners on the corners. Alejandro Kirk was a pain in the rear all night long with his at-bats.
He is really a good hitter, and his two-strike approach, it looks like it's the whole, he lets the fastball get deep, and he's on the off-speed stuff.
But Dalton Varsho, with the bases loaded, flies out to shallow center.
That at-bat went curveball, curveball, slider, curveball. Remember that for his next at-bat.
Top of the second inning, much better at-bats from the Dodgers against Savage. 1 on, 1 out, Max Muncy with a base hit.
Really like that swing by Max Muncy, staying back and going the other way with that off-speed pitch. Note to self, put that in your Rolodex in your mind back to do that again.
Jerry, it's October Kike giving the Dodgers the lead.
Good job staying on the slider away. Rocket up the middle. Dodgers on the board. Kike, RBI knock.
The 1-0 Dodgers in the second inning. After Kike's RBI shot back through the middle.
Kike hits hanging sliders, and his slider doesn't break a lot, so it looks like a hanger all the time.
Tommy Edman batting right-handed against the right-handed pitcher.
Put it in play. Good things happen.
This is where the Dodgers needed to tack on more. Bases loaded, 1 out. Andy Pages, 3-2 pitch. Would have been ball 4.
He had a good take the pitch before, but then that one was a chase.
And then Shohei grounds out to first.
That was big right there. Big momentum shift right there after them getting out of that with just 1 run.
Bottom of the second inning, Ernie Clement leads it off against Snell. 0-2 pitch, just serves it into left field.
Contact is king. Give yourself a chance.
What the Blue Jays do so well. Next batter is Miles Straw. And that is a swing, a foul tip, hung on by Will Smith. Andres Jimenez. That ball tipped off his bat.
Yes, it did.
Even when Blake was getting outs, though, you don't like the location.
So that's 2 outs for George Springer. Bit of a strange play here. Hits it to Freddie Freeman. Mookie's not at second base, throws back to first. Blake Snell off the bag, but he cuts down the runner at third.
Great heads-up play there, right there by Blake Snell, recognizing that you just don't put your head down after the guy is safe, looking around and getting him going to third.
Cut down, third out at third base. Top of the third after Mookie and Freddie walked back-to-back to start the inning. Will Smith, 3-2 pitch, just shoots it through that hole.
Good approach right there by Will Smith. Going the other way, didn't try to pull it. Good job of going the other way here. Freddie gets hung up there between second and third. He picked him there at second. Will Smith able to advance to second base.
Mookie Betts scores 2-0 Dodgers.
Freddie gets hung out the drive with too big a turn right there. He thought the throw would go home and he'd get to third easy. The throw did not go home.
Teoscar Hernandez up the middle. Bo Bichette, playing second base for the first time in his major league career, makes that play.
Really good play.
It really was a good play. I mean, not only getting to that ball, but he had a quick release.
Max Muncy waves at 1. So the Dodgers settle for the 1 run there. Bottom 3, Snell facing Davis Schneider.
Man, good location right there. One of the better pitches that he had on the night.
When he made pitches, he was getting swing and miss and weak contact.
Hottest hitter on the planet, Vlad Jr. with a base hit to left.
That changeup is out.
And that old at bat, he looked like he was sitting soft.
Yes.
Yeah. Next batter is Bichette. To Freddie, and the Dodgers able to turn it this time.
Man, this was a really nice turn. I mean, Freddie getting it over to the Mookie so quick, and Mookie with the athleticism as he's receiving this and jumping in the air and then throwing, just nice little flick over the first base. Fine play.
Bottom of the 4th inning. Snell facing Alejandro Kirk. It's a loud and long single to right.
But look at the approach. He's just thinking, I'm going the other way no matter what. And he gets a changeup out of third. It was up, so he's able to drive it instead of hitting on the ground.
Or you talked about that first at-bat from Varsho. First pitch he sees in the second at-bat.
Yeah, he had a good plan. He figured he got all breaking balls in 4 pitches in the first at-bat. He was sitting dead red no matter when it came, and he got it on the first pitch.
Center cut fastball, hits it out to tie the game.
He did not miss that. I mean, what a good swing.
That really energized the Rogers Center in Canada. Later in the inning, Snell gets Jimenez looking to win the inning. Top of the fifth, Blue Jays go to their bullpen, and it's Shohei hauled out on a pitch.
Could have been down.
Looked down. Next batter, Mookie Betts. That's a base hit.
It seemed to be on top of that pitch.
They did. With two down, Blue Jays go to their bullpen again. Sir Anthony Dominguez, the right-hander, facing Will Smith. He gets him on one pitch to end the inning.
He just missed that. I mean, Will Smith was looking to ambush him, which wasn't a bad idea. It was a pitch, and he just got underneath it.
Bottom five, George Springer with his second hit of the game to begin the inning.
The changeup, it was up. He was able to get enough of it. He was trying to drive that ball, but he was able to get some.
And second straight inning, though, Dodgers turn a double play, 5-4-3.
Good job, Max Muncy, getting over to Tommy Edman. Able to turn.
But sixth inning is when things went south in a hurry. Bottom of the frame. It's Kirk through the right side.
It's going to be really hard to call this inning a highlight. This is definitely a low light.
2 on for Varsho, who battled, fouled off a couple pitches, and then Blake Snell with his 100th pitch of the night. He hits him.
And that ball just, I mean, you can tell right there, he just did not have his command. I mean, he was trying to get that ball up and in with the fastball, and that was way up and in. Didn't want to get the bases loaded there with nobody out.
You're thinking if your bullpen could just hold him to 1 or 2 runs, you'd be all right. Emmett Sheehan comes in with the bases loaded. Clement with a base hit.
See, that slider did not have any sharpness to it. Just stays out there, outer third. Clement, good piece of hit.
When we see curveballs pop out of pitchers' hands, they go really super high. Well, when a slider, you overthrow it, pops out of your hand, it just stays there in the cement mixer.
Sheehan hadn't pitched in 15 days. Not quite as sharp. Jimenez, that's a base hit. They continue to go station to station, 5-2. Brings in, Dave Roberts going to go to get Anthony Bonda.
Trying to keep it close somehow. Just going, okay, gosh, can we just minimize the damage here? Can we leave it there somehow? Find a way.
2-1 or 2-1 pitch here, Jerry.
Yeah. I mean,
break
the ball. I mean, it's just center cut up in the zone to Barger, and he does not miss it. Pinch hit grand slam. First ever pinch hit grand slam in the World Series.
Just like that, it is broken open 9-2. They weren't done in this inning. Alejandro Kirk, that's a 2-run shot.
Man.
Dodgers couldn't get him out.
Yeah, Kirk was on everything. I mean, he was staying within himself, staying in the zone. He knows his zone. I mean, he is a good hitter.
Yes, he is.
7th inning, Shohei Ohtani. It's a 2-run home run, and you were talking about it in the newsroom out there. Even when he doesn't hit it and square it up, sometimes it still goes.
Yeah, it wasn't completely on the barrel, and it wasn't completely perfect timing, but everything was enough. It just wasn't enough runs. You can't hit a 7-run shot.
Dodgers lose the final 11-4. They trail this World Series 1-0. Blake Snell takes his first postseason defeat, allowed 5 runs in 5+ innings. Shohei goes 1 for 4 with his 6th home run this postseason, a couple of RBIs, a walk, and Will Smith had a base hit and an RBI. Let's go back to Toronto. Miguel Rojas is speaking with the media.
Okay, with you guys, yeah. How would you characterize that game just in lieu of a 7-game series?
Yeah, I mean, a loss is a loss, regardless of what the score is. I feel like we did a pretty good job in the first time around against the starter. I think the at-bats were really good. Obviously, they did a pretty good job too against Blake, especially Alejandro Kirk. His at-bats were unbelievable, like watching from the other side. Against a tough pitcher like Blake. Blake's been throwing the ball really well for us, and obviously we all know that. Today it wasn't our night, both sides of the ball, but I feel like I said, it's just one game, and we gotta clear this up and kind of bounce back for tomorrow.
Your first game of the week after playing every day on Sunday, was that a little tough to sort of get back into it again?
Can't really speak about it because I haven't been playing and I didn't play tonight, but I'm pretty sure the guys kind of felt the velocity a little bit more and all that, but I mean, nothing that we can do. We have to continue to go, and that's not going to be an excuse for us to underperform.
In the DS and the CS, we really haven't seen the kind of offense that you guys have shown all season.
I'm sorry?
In the DS and the CS, the last 2 rounds, we didn't see the kind of offense that you guys have usually shown the whole season in terms of production. Starting pitching, obviously, did a great job. Do you make anything of that? Or you
I just think it's been an up and down season for us offensively, and sometimes we don't have to do much to win games. You know, sometimes we just got to score some runs, and like I said, today wasn't just our night.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto draws the start in Game 2 of the World Series tomorrow. We'll preview the matchup and have some final thoughts next. Yoshinobu Yamamoto gets the ball for Game 2 of the World Series tomorrow night, coming off his first career complete game last time out when he held the Brewers to 1 run in Game 2 of the NLCS. He also beat the Yankees in last year's Fall Classic. Oral, so what's going to be the key for Yamamoto facing this Blue Jays team for the first time in his career?
First and foremost, fastball location, and then the split comes after that, and he can throw the high fastball because he loves to throw that little curve ball, and every once in a while he'll surprise you with the slider. If he's executing all those pitches again, he's a mystery, and he'll be very tough to hit.
You heard Blake Snell say the same thing. I didn't have my fastball command, and it was really hard when I'm pitching behind, so obviously Yamamoto needs that so he can be ahead and then keep them off balance.
Do your thing, man. He has been our ace for a reason. Give us a chance to win. I expect length, fastball command, that breaking ball, that devastating split. He's going to have a great game tomorrow night.
Dodgers were 9-1 in these playoffs before Game 1 tonight, Jerry. But we talked about in the division series, they didn't hit all that much against the Phillies, didn't hit all that much against the Brewers in the NLCS, yet they still found ways to win pretty much every single one of those games. But going into this Fall Classic, it feels like they are going to have to hit to keep up with this Blue Jays offense, which is red hot, and they were once again tonight.
I think this is, and I said it earlier, I think them getting punched in the mouth will kind of wake up this offense. So far in this postseason, this Dodger team averaged around 3 runs a game. That can't happen in this series against this Blue Jay team. I'm hoping this Dodger team, you see the 13 strikeouts, that has to change. You got to shorten up with 2 strikes, put the ball in play, especially with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, hopefully they learn from this. You're right. Hopefully this wakes them up. I know they're not making excuses about the layoff, but the layoff definitely has them. You can feel all of a sudden the momentum, that fire just kind of settles down. Well, hopefully this wakes you up. Hopefully, like, okay, now we're in a fight. This wasn't going to be easy. They weren't just going to roll over. Now you have to go take it. You can't just wait and think it's going to come to you, throw your hats on the field and say, hey, we're going to win this. You have to go out there and you have to take it, and it starts tomorrow.
There's 2 categories you have to win, right? If it's pitching and offense, both those categories are hitting with runners in scoring position. And you know what? You got to out-homer the opponent usually.
And once the Blue Jays got the offense going in this game, it just seemed like everything snowballed because they got that crowd, one of the most raucous crowds you will have in Major League Baseball. If Yamamoto can really limit the damage and keep them off the board, that would serve the Dodgers really well in Game 2.
Yeah, you want the momentum and the noise coming from your dugout, and you want the stands to be quiet, and you got to do that pretty early, especially with this crowd, because they look like they're going to be in it no matter what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, there's Dodger fans, and you want to hear them because the other crowd is quiet. So that's what you want to do. They did it early on, I guarantee you, but they got those couple runs. We heard them out there, so we want that the whole 9 innings.
It's a great place to hit, man. Take advantage of it tomorrow night.
All right, Dodgers turn the page. Look forward to Game 2 for Jerry, Nomar, Oral, and Kirsten. I'm John. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Pre-game coverage begins at 4 o'clock on Sportsnet LA.
選手監督は否定していますが、現地解説陣はやはり中断期間の影響があったと分析していますね。ワイルドカード導入されてからのここ30年間、初戦勝利チームのワールドシリーズ優勝確率は 80% です。しかし今のドジャースにはデータを覆すだけのポテンシャルがあります。明日の山本由伸選手の好投に期待したいですね。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。